All right. Welcome to week 3. Thank you guys for coming. I definitely appreciate it. So the article that I pulled up this time, I know we were all talking about in March, obviously, when pandemic hit and we all went into lockdown, like all of the miraculous emissions were lowering pretty quickly. So I thought this was cool. It's finally about we're about 10 months in, and there's finally some relatively informational data that we can find on this. So there was a study done on a paper published from a university in Canada that was looking at cities like scattered around Canada and looking at the emissions rates. So that picture on the right is of NO2 emissions, which nitrogen dioxide, from March to I think June. So even just in a couple months, like crazy cutbacks in those emissions. That one on the left, I thought was actually very interesting. So it has those NO2 emissions again, but it's by year. So it looks like in the spring and a bit in the summer, those emissions drop anyway. I don't know exactly why. My guess is maybe like schools ending, so you have less like daily commuting. But so 2020 is that bottom one, and we can see that there definitely was a major drop in emissions. But I just thought it was really interesting to see that trend already existed. So I feel like in March or in April, really, when we were talking about this, it was kind of like this huge change, and that graph kind of to me said something different. I also wanted to point out, I've heard about not specifically NO2 in the past, but I've heard of NOx, and NO2 is one of the gases that is part of that like categorization. And NOx in general is what's called an indirect greenhouse gas, which means it doesn't directly cause to like atmospheric warming, but it does either produce more greenhouse gases or it affects the absorption rate of the atmosphere, so that messes with like cloud formation. Yeah, so I did a bit of research on that because I thought it was kind of interesting, but yeah. And if anyone wants this article, I can definitely share it. And I'm actually going to try and get the full PDF. I can't access it through RIT, but I'm going to see if I can get my hands on it. So yeah. So we have a couple things we're going to talk about. We're going to update on the membership and dues, talk about projects, just mention the Slack briefly, and this is incorrect. We're going to do an activity instead. Shreya, I don't know if you want to talk about like the updates in the last week.
Yeah, right. 1 second. I was just trying to find my mouse. So in the last week, what I did was I set up a campus groups for us to pay the full membership dues if you are interested in doing that. And this is only $5 for full membership for this semester if you weren't previously a full member, or you are a new officer, or you're going to the ESW con and have the discount and so on, or if you want to participate in more than one project and those kinds of things. So that's on campus groups and should be in the email that Christian sent out. Again, please feel free to email us or text us on Slack if you need more information on that. I know some of you guys have started paying that already, and we'll have you as full members.
Sorry, my laptop decided to panic.
Yeah, that's it for me. And yeah, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and you mentioned this.
Yeah, but that'll say $5 now, that page. That was the old kind of one that we had. It wasn't updated, but it's going to say $5.
For anyone who isn't in the Slack, make sure to join so you can find the project sign up links inside there. And if you are on the Google Drive, you'll be able to find the sheet there. make sure to sign up for whatever project you want to do. If you are a full member, you can be a part of one more or more than one project. If you're not in the Slack, you can also reach out to either me, Sarah, or one of the PLs to get involved with the projects, and we make sure that you get down on that list.
I do want to clarify one thing really quick. If you are not a full member yet and you're already signed up for 2 projects, that is okay. We would ask that you do apply for the full membership though, which is just going to be $5. So.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty similar to last week. I sent an email out a few days ago kind of going over this and some membership stuff. Yeah, like they said before, make sure you join the Slack and make sure you're in the RIT chapter in the Slack, because that's where we put a lot of our information. Yeah, I mean, I sent the email out that kind of has more of the specifics there. I think everyone here is already in the Slack. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, make sure you join on campus groups so that way you can get future emails from me. And yeah, that's basically it for me. I'll continue to send out some emails, just kind of saying what needs to get done and, you know, talking about upcoming meetings. But yeah, for the future, most of our stuff is going to be in the Slack. So if you have any questions about that or how to join any of that stuff, you can let me or Sarah know. We'd be happy to help.